Welcome back to RSL Rooster. Today we're gonna be doing the halfway through the season report card for each of the players and the coaches, and maybe just the club in general because it sort of sucks. But if you were, I think this is a really good time to do it too because I think we're on a bye week, and I think we're 17 games through the season, 34 game season. We're halfway there. Great time to do it now. So let's just get started with it. I've prepared a little slideshow with all of the players and where I'm going to rate them. And I'll pull it up now. Okay, so we're going to go through most of the players. I'm going to not include quite a few of them. Mainly because either they don't play for the club anymore or they haven't played 90 minutes. If they haven't played a total of 90 minutes, I'm not counting them. That being Kobe Henry, he's been injured. I think he played one game and got injured. Very promising player. Hope he does well. Aiden Hezarkhani, he's got 13 minutes, had a good start. Johnny Russell, he's got like 40 minutes, done nothing. Griffin Dillon hasn't appeared. Zachary Farnsworth hasn't appeared. Mason Stajahar hasn't appeared. Lachlan Brook has been healthy the entire season, but has only made like about 80 minutes, which is really weird. He's a new signing. We spent millions of dollars on him. It's sort of wild that he's not playing. And I've heard nothing as far as like he's not trying. I don't know how he's not getting on the field. And Forster Yago, obviously, if he had to have a rating, I would genuinely say he would be a D- or an F. And he is already on loan at, I think, some Lexington, Kentucky, or something like that. All right, let's get started with the first player. Starting, for the most part, we're going by position, but I think towards the end, it'll start to just be the players with a very few minutes. All right, starting off, Rafael Cabral. This year so far, he's a brand new signing, and I'm not gonna lie. I said I wasn't. If you look at my article on his signing, I said I was not sure about the signing. I didn't know if I liked it or not. But after 17 matches, he's conceded 25 goals, which isn't great. But an average goalkeeper would have conceded 28, which is the XG. So he saved us 3 goals, which is probably like if it wasn't for him, we would probably be even lower in the table, which is wild. He has a 71% save possession, which is really good. And he's only made one error leading to a goal this year. So of the 25 goals he has conceded, I would only say that. And then also, this is from FBref.com. Most of these errors leading to goals does not mean that they made a small error. This means something tragic. I think this was against Portland, where he passed it to someone who was completely off balance, and then it went straight in the goal. But for goalies, this would be like he passed it to an attacker who shot on the goal, or he like dropped the ball off a cross and then it went in, or something bad. But like really, if we're talking about like we were having strings of games last season where Zach McMath and Gavin Beavers were making errors leading to goals like every game. So that's significantly better. So then the next stat that I want to talk about for this is that he only 33% of shots that are taken that not just hit the post that are taken, but that are going on target go in. That is really good. He's in the top 5 of MLS goalkeepers. And then something that he's the best at in MLS is coming out. So he is coming out early and he is coming out far to get balls on counters, further than anyone else in MLS. He comes out further than the box, straight to the box. That's like where his average, like when there's a 1v1, a lot of the times you'll see the goalkeeper sort of make it to the penalty spot and then their angle's gone. He is making it outside of the box is normally where he is going on 1v1s. I don't know. Just it's an interesting stat that I saw. And then he's one of the worst goalkeepers in MLS in claiming crosses, with only 2.5% of crosses being claimed by the goalkeeper, which is a very confusing stat. I am using a lot of stats here, but eye test I think also goes straight back to what I'm saying. This is a good goalkeeper. He's good at just about everything, and I'm happy with him. So for him, I'm gonna give him a B+. I think a B+ is fair. Hasn't been like, he's not MLS best, but he's up there. He's definitely up there. Catranis, 15 games, only 1 assist, but I'm also giving him another assist. So let's say it's 2 assists for the Nuhu own goal. He crossed into Nuhu, which went in. He's made 40 chances. He's created 40 created 40 chances on goal, which is in the 94th percentile, which is crazy considering he's made 40 chances for a shot and only 1 of them has gone in, which is really disappointing. And that's either a chance for the rest of the video when I talk about this. This is either he passes it to someone who shoots, or he receives the ball without being in a scoring position and then puts himself in a scoring position. So he's done that 40 times in 15 games. And then per 90, he's getting a chance to score a goal or get an assist, 12% of the time of games. And then he is which is pretty good for a left back. And then he is putting himself pretty high up the field. That PPR per 90 is positive passes received. So he's receiving the ball higher than where the pass is being passed in their half, 6.16 times a game, which is also very high for a left back. He's made 0 significant errors that would lead to goals, but I think he has not been great. Now, here's when it comes to defensive. He is one of the worst left backs in MLS when it comes to interceptions, blocks, clearances, and aerials. He is making less than 2 a game of all of those, and that is in the bottom 20th percentile of MLS left backs. So very good attacking, has not been super great defensively. Maybe that has contributed to some more goals. So for that, I'm giving him a C+. We're in 13th place. That's sort of how it works. Sam Junka, he has played surprisingly more games but less minutes. He's made 1 goal. Catranis made 40 chances. Junka has made 16. He's been good with the passes, not great with progressive passes, not great with progressive carries. So going wide and going up with the ball, he's not very good. He hasn't been too bad defensively, but making a very small amount of tackles. One of our better players in the air, which is surprised. He is which is sort of what you'd expect. He is a center back that can play left back. We want him to be good in the air, block some more shots. But are we really expecting Sam Junka, a converted center back, to be, doing great things offensively? No. So I think he is doing what we want, where he is good defensively, probably okay defensively, but, he's not very fast. He's not very progressive. He's sort of wasteful on the far left side when he's crossing it in. So I think for that, I'm going to give him a C. Brian Vera, 12 games. He's conceded 18 goals, which is relatively normal, 1.5 goals a game. I think one thing he's done way better this year is he hasn't had any red cards. He's had very few yellow cards. Unfortunately, he's not very good in the air. In the bottom 4% of center backs with winning aerial duels, and in the very bottom 12% for clearances. I do think the eye test comes in a little bit here too. I think he's been good. I think if you're talking about why we're in 13th, it's not because Brian Vera has not been that great. He's been okay. So I'm going to give him a C+. Justin Glad, 14 games. While he's been on the field, we've conceded 22 goals, which is a little bit rough. That's like 1.75 goals per game. But look at the stats. Last year, he was an all-star. This year, he's still doing a lot of things pretty well. Not great in the air, but he hasn't had too many howlers per se. So for him, I'm also going to give him a C+. Philip Quinton. He's another center back. 10 matches played, 700 minutes, 19 goals conceded. That's bad. When you're getting up to 19 goals conceded, but you've only played 10 games, that's 2 per game. That's not good. And almost none of his stats put him in high company. He's made a bad mistake that would lead to a goal, It looks like he's okay with blocks, but like he's 6'6" and he's in the 6th percentile of winning aerials among center backs in this league. I mean, that's a disaster. So for him, I'm also I gave him a C. That's probably like a C minus. I'm gonna be real. That's probably like a C minus. Lucky C minus, by the way. And then Bodie Hidalgo. This one, most of this is gonna be eye test, by the way, because if you look at his stats, he's played 705 minutes. The worst thing that I've got for him is 22 goals have gone in while he's on the field, which is like crazy that 22 of the 28 goals that have gone in have had Bodie Hidalgo on the field, which doesn't even make any sense to me. But like in games he's appeared in, we have conceded 22 goals. I'm not exactly sure how that even makes any sense, but that's a true stat. Maybe there's something going on here where it's like maybe if he got subbed on late, I'm giving him some extra goals, but like yeah. Interesting. 43rd percentile for chances. Very, very bad. He is the worst right back in MLS for successful take-ons. He is completing 0.06 take-ons per game. That's pretty bad. And he's pretty good with keeping the ball. Decent with passing ball forward. But, you know, as far as like moving the ball forward, creating chances, and helping people score, not great. And then also just eye test, he makes mistakes. He is error prone. Yes, you can look at his tackles, interceptions, blocks, and clearances where he's in the 68th to 80th percentile. That's great. I'd rather be higher than lower, but I will say we get scored on while he is on the field. We see it. So for him, I'm giving him a C minus. He's lucky to be getting away with a D plus. Noah Caliscan, 8 matches, 500 minutes. We've conceded 11 goals with him on the field, or in games where he touched the field. He's created 13 chances where per 90 that comes up to 51 percentile. Once again, he's very bad. One of the worst right backs in MLS at successful take-ons. But like with progression, he's pretty good, and you can see that on the field. When he has the ball, he's good with it. Now he's pretty good at tackles, but he's also really bad at aerials. And we remember that when he got beat on the near post, he got dunked on like twice. So for him as well, I think he's in a new position. He's doing well. C plus. You can't see it. My camera's blocking it, but you can see the little plus sign there. It's a C plus for Noah Caliscan. Hopefully he can keep improving on that. You know, I think if he gets a little bit, like if he gets an assist or a goal, he might be pushing up towards a B. Emeka Eneli, this is the first midfielder. He's had 14 games so far this season. He's got 1 assist. Decent. He is pretty much what we want. He is not bad at anything, and he's pretty good at a lot of stuff like interceptions, take-ons, you know, ball progression. He gets the ball and he moves it forward relatively consistently. And he makes very few mistakes. He is an incredible player. I love him. I want him on the field every game. I'm giving him a B minus. Yes, we are in 13th place. I can love you and give you a B minus. Bryan Oyeda, honestly, very similar. There are very few things he is horrible at. Almost nothing. He is pretty good at just about everything. You know, he's only got 1 assist so far this season, but like, you know, he's taking shots. He really is. The only problem is he has been a little bit more error prone. You know, sometimes he'll make a pass, it'll get deflected, or it'll get intercepted, and then they're on counter. That has caused a few goals. He does lead the team in errors leading goals, which is 3. I would have expected that to go to Bodie Hidalgo, but it's actually Bryan Oyeda. So, maybe just like staying on track the whole game is something for him to work on. So I'm going to give him a C+, just a little bit worse than a McAnally, but still really good. I like him. Diego Luna. My GOAT, 16 matches, 8 goals, 2 assists. He in attacking, he is just about he's perfect at everything. I love him. I mean, on a team that is this bad, to be in the 92nd percentile of all MLS attackers in expected goals, he is expected to score a goal 0.4% of games, which is that would have him at about 8, which is where he is now. So he's performing exactly where you want him to be. What else is he great at? He's moving the ball higher up the field. He's passing the ball higher up the field. And you see this and you see 59th percentile in take-ons. That is for a team that is this bad. Progressive passes in the 78th percentile when he's passing it to Forster Iago is crazy. So, I mean, for him, I think this is a more impressive season than he had last year. So I'm giving him an A. Xavier Gozo, 12 games played, 700 minutes, 1 goal. He's been pretty bad if you look at just the numbers. He has a 64% pass completion rate. So when he passes the ball, he's like 50-50 with the passes that he's making. That is one of the worst attackers in MLS as far as passes go. But if you look at the eye test, he moves the ball up. He tries his best. He scored once. He's 18 years old. And if you look at his defensive stats, he is given everything. Every defensive stat, blocks, clearances, tackles, aerial duels, he is in the top 80% for everything. And he is the best attacker in MLS at tackles and blocks per 90. He's given everything for the badge. He is everywhere all game. I'm giving him a B. Yeah, sure. He is only attempting 22 passes a game. Yeah, sure. He's only passing the ball forward once a game, which is the bottom 1 percentile in all of MLS. But there's so many good things. I'm giving him a B. And he's 18. Diogo Gonçalves, 13 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's about average to bad in most things. For a DP10, he is not even beating half a man per game on the dribble. Really bad. And I think a lot of that XG comes from long shots. He takes so many pot shots. And he's not trying hard in practice. I'm giving him a D. He is our highest paid player. He needs to not be in the 7th percentile, not be in the 22nd percentile, not be in the 52nd percentile. He needs to be like one of those guys like Diego where he's like 70 at everything. Like Emeka, like Brian. Dominic Markzuk, he's 20 years old, 13 matches, 1 goal, 2 assists. Not great end numbers. Those aren't great ending numbers. But one thing he is incredibly good at is putting himself in advanced positions. He receives the ball higher than almost anyone else in MLS. Seriously, when Dominic he is found free, he gets in really good spots. And he, does move the ball forward. He's got some good progressive carries. He finds the ball high up in the field. His problem is truthfully pass completion. When he gets the ball in those high spots, he needs to whip it into someone accurately, and he is struggling with that. He really is. But there's someone there. I think he has a chance to still be a good player. But it's just not looking too good of a season for him. I'm giving him a C. RF Peel. This was probably the craziest thing I saw when looking at stats today. He doesn't look as bad with the eye test, but if you look at the numbers, as a strike, and I do think a little bit of it has to do with the graveyard shift. How many times is he receiving the ball in a spot where he can shoot per game? Probably not often, but to be fair, he's not shooting once per game. He receives the ball in the box. He takes 2 touches per game. He is the worst, and I really hate to say this, but look at these bottom 1 percentiles. That means you are the worst. There are 30 teams in MLS. So if you're the bottom 1 percentile, that's if you take 30 teams, their top 3 strikers. He is the worst in MLS of strikers for generating expected goals. 0.12. It's really sad. He's 18. Almost everything he does is pretty bad. Statistically, he's not looking good. Eye test, maybe he's not looking as bad. He's trying. He's running fast. He's pressing the ball. Those don't show up in stats, but he's trapped. I think he is covering a lot of ground. I think he presses better than Forster Iago. But as far as like creating goals, it has not been good. D+. Honestly, maybe that's a little bit harsh. But like when I saw these stats, he's in the bottom 1 percentile of almost every statistical category. Look it up on FBref. Go on FBref and look at every statistic. I mean, it's crazy. Willy Agada, he's only got 461 minutes in 7 matches. I wouldn't take too many of these stats too crazily because the stats are combined with us and SKC. So it's not like an exact like, oh, for us, he's creating the 93rd most XG. But I will say, Willy Agada is putting himself in great spots. He has had so many whiffs where, like, yeah, his XG's high because he's getting past the ball by Mark Zook and Diego Luna, like, in Gozo, like, 5 times a game, and then he just, like, completely skies it, or he kicks it backwards, you know, so his XG is high. He's getting in the right spots, but as far as scoring-wise, he's, like, really struggling. So if you're talking getting in the, like, creating goal, like, getting in the spot to take shots, taking shots, and touching the ball in the box, he's doing really well. Everything else, he's really struggling. So hopefully he can start to improve on that, and he'll be able to start scoring goals. Because if you look at this, he's played 461 minutes. He's played 461 minutes, and he is supposed to have scored like 0.7 goals per 90 minutes. That's like 5 goals. Like an average striker with his chances would have 5 goals. He has 1. So he needs to step it up. See, maybe that should be lower. Maybe I should have both Willy Agada and Arif Puyol as a C-. I think that's sort of fair. Pablo Ruiz, he's only got 400 minutes. You know, no goals, no crazy chances. He's got a little bit of XG from pot shots. I think he's been okay. I think he's been fine. He hasn't been great. I'm glad to see him on the field. I love that we have him. And, yeah. C, average. He's passing. He's not going to get his contract deleted, but is he going to get an extension? I don't know. Oh, wait, what is this? Okay, this is Nelson Palacio. I forgot to change the name. He's made 10... Uh-oh. I messed up here. This is Nelson Palacio. You know he's getting a C already. But in his 7 matches so far, he's got 319 minutes. Very low for someone we're taking a U22 spot on. Ugh. And he's created very little as far as goals or assists. Has he been that bad, though? Has he put in too many stinkers? Probably not. Maybe he deserves more. Javane Brown, he's been injured after the first 3 minutes. After the first 3 games, he played, honestly, he had 1 game he was honestly pretty good in. I think it was the Seattle game he was decent in. But he had 2 bad games before then. C. Tyler Wolff. He's got 8 matches, 281 minutes as a kid. Created very little in those limited minutes, but if you're talking, I don't think he has a singular start, and he's got, 8 appearances. He's getting like 20 minutes a game. As an attacker, he's doing something. I see him on the field. He looks good. And I watched a full game with the Monarchs with him in it, and he popped off. He looked like the best player in the history of MLS Next Pro. He was crazy. So I'm giving him a C+. Hopefully he can get more minutes, and I think if he gets more minutes, he should be better. Jesus Pereira, he has 7 appearances with 230 minutes. If you remember, I think he has gotten some good chances. He gets in good spots. He hasn't scored yet, but he scored today for the Monarchs. He scored a brace. I don't think he's been that bad. he showed like we had hope. Like when Peel and Forster Iago were sucking, and before he got signed Willie Agata, it was like Jesus Brea should start for us. And I don't think he ever got that chance, but I'm giving him a B minus. He's done about what you would expect for him. And those are all the players that I've got. Everyone else has played less than 100 minutes. But that's about it as far as players go. As far as attackers, or as far as managers go, I'm going to give Pablo a C. Yeah, sure. He has no weapons. He's got Diego Luna, and that's about it. He's got no weapons to work with. We're in 13th place. I do think there's some tactical things he could do better, where he should, maybe if we're not going to score goals, we need to play more defensively and play on a counter when we have fast players like Xavier Gozo and Peel. Maybe we even switch to a 3-5-2. Like he's tinkering a little bit, like with playing Gozo behind Agata, but he's not tinkering enough for me. There have been worse teams in this that have gotten more points. I think there is something he can do, but I'm not too mad at him. I think he's doing okay. And I'll go back to full cam for this because I don't have any graphics. Now, here's where I'm giving out my first, probably the lowest grade. The two lowest grades that I've given today are for Diogo Gonçalves, and here comes Kurt Schmidt. Kurt Schmidt, I'm also giving a D. He's made 15 signings in the last year. I would say the only hit, Rafael Cabral. Only one hit. He has failed 14 times, spent $2 million on Lachlan Brook, who has made 90 minutes in the last year. I'm giving him a D, though, because there is a chance. Right now, for example, the people I'm giving Ds, if they don't improve, they should leave. Diogo, if you don't improve as our DP and you create one chance, if you create one goal and one assist in 16 games, you should leave. In the same way that if Kurt Schmidt cannot sign a striker, a DP9, I think that's it. He's known he needs to sign a DP9, and he hasn't made it happen for months, 6 months. If he does not sign the striker, if he signs the striker and he does well and we make the playoffs, I'm willing to give him a C, a passing grade. But if he doesn't, you failed. You have completely failed. He has a chance. He has a chance. Please, God, sign a striker. Get him on a pre-contract. Have him playing on July 24th. Please. But that's about it. As far as how the club goes after half the season, I do think we are the worst team in MLS. I really do think that. Every other team is going to get better. We are going to get worse. This next month is going to suck. We are in 13th place, and let's be real, we're winless in 6. So I don't think we're on an uptrend. We're in 13th place. It's how much further down can we go? And if you look at LA, who's below us, I mean, what? They get Puig back, or Puig. They get Ricky Puig back in a month. I think they catch us. They just beat us 3-0. So I do think we are the worst team in MLS. Maybe the only other team is DC United, who we play on Saturday. If we lose to DC United, we are the worst team in MLS. LA Galaxy will be better than us. They will finish with more points than us. They will get Puig back. They will be better. If we lose and we don't sign a striker, we will be the worst team in MLS. So there's that to look forward to. But that's about it. I don't have much hope. I hopefully we beat DC United. They're pretty bad too. And if you don't follow me on Twitter yet, follow me. Please like the video. Please subscribe. I put a lot of work into this. Thank you. Bye.